Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is about getting started with your health and fitness journey, starting your weight loss journey, building healthy habits to improve your health and wellness, all of that. So I'll be sharing some tips and things that helped me when I got started. And a little bit of background, I really started to prioritize my health at the beginning of 2020. And before that, I had some healthy habits, but I really wasn't consistent. I would be really focused for a short period of time, and then I would fall back into the same old habits. So these are some things that helped me get started again. The first tip is to work on your mindset. I think that is the most important thing, or it really was for me. You have to believe you can do this. One thing that I've learned over the past 3 years is that I can do hard things. It's all mental. So watch that internal dialogue and negative self-talk. In the past, I would be like, okay, I need to get it together. I got to start working out. I need to get more sleep. I need to eat healthier. And before I even get started, that negative self-talk would creep in. So you're already telling yourself, it's going to be hard. I can't do this. I always fail. I've done this in the past. It didn't work. And you haven't even started. So I think what helps with that is figuring out what your why is. It can be health. It can be because you want to keep certain diseases at bay. Whatever it is, it just has to be really strong for you. And I think sometimes you'll hear people talk about why they want to get their health together, why they want to lose weight. And people will say, well, that's not a good reason, or that's not gonna work. It just has to be important to you. It can even be for aesthetics. Y'all don't let anyone guilt you or make you feel bad for wanting to lose weight to look, leaner, or to build muscles, feel and look good with your shirt off. Like, whatever the reason is, it has to be important to you. For me, it was because I did not want my health to decline as I got older. So that was my why. And every time I would face like a challenge or hit like a little bump, wasn't really feeling motivated or whatever the reason was, I would think back to that why, and it would give me just a little boost to keep on going. The next tip is to start small. Small habits, think tiny changes that can build up over time. It can be really easy to get all excited and make big goals at the beginning, but start small. That way you won't feel overwhelmed and give up after a few days or a couple of weeks of doing whatever it is that you're doing. So if you're not used to working out consistently, don't start going to the gym every single day for like 2 hours a day, because it's not going to stick. It might work for a while. Like, you might be able to do it. You might be able to, get into the gym every single day for those 2 hours. But eventually, especially if you're not used to, working out like that every day, eventually you'll get to a point where it's just not sustainable. Like, you're not going to be able to actually maintain it. So doing too much or too many different things at once can also work against you sometimes. And think of small habits and changes that you can stick to long term. So if you're looking to build habits that will last a long time, then it's really important to implement things that lead to a lifestyle change. I think it's really important to take it day by day. And that's what I did. Like, I did not have a huge goal. My ultimate goal was to improve my health. But when I started by doing little things that didn't really take me out of like my normal routine. So I was already, working out sometimes. I started walking got easier. So I started walking longer and faster. And then eventually I would like walk, run. And then I started getting into running as it got easier. So you can build on the small habits over time. The next tip is to include some type of movement. And it has to be something that's not drastic. So think about something that you enjoy. So you actually don't need to work out to lose weight, but exercising has great health benefits. So for me, I started by doing things that I didn't really consider to be exercising, like walking. And walking is one of those things that's really underrated. So for me, it was a catalyst into other forms of exercise. And I started walking, it got easier. So I started, walking a bit longer. I started adding in a little bit of jogging. And then I wanted to challenge myself. So I decided to join some group exercise classes, which was really fun. I made friends in those classes and they kept me accountable. If I didn't show up to class, someone would text me like, where are you at? But the key is really just to find something that's fun for you, because then you're more likely to stick to it. So like I said before, you don't have to start, going to the gym every single day. If you hate running, you don't have to run. You don't. I run a lot and people will ask me, how can I get into running? Like, I hate running. And you don't have to run. You can find something else, that you like to do. If you like walking, start walking more, walk longer. If you like going to the gym, or if you don't like going to the gym, then maybe you can find something else to do, like dancing. I love Zumba classes. I do a Zumba class. I do a kickboxing class. So those group exercise classes, I think, are really fun. And sometimes you're sweating, but it doesn't really feel brutal, like you in the gym lifting weights and because it's fun. So your mind is not really focusing on how hard it is in the moment, because you're having so much fun. So if you have access to that and you're able to get into one of those group workout classes, that's fine. And trust me, no one is paying attention to you. I feel like when people think about Zumba class, they're like, oh, well, I'm not really a good dancer. I don't want people to judge me. Everyone is having so much fun. No one is watching you. No one is really, judging. I hope no one is judging you. And if they are, who cares? The music be bumping, it's fun. Everyone is excited. So go for it. And the next tip is around nutrition. So one thing that I tried not to do was to cut out a whole bunch of things in the beginning. Once, I think a lot of times when you think about, okay, I need to start eating healthier, you clear out everything in your fridge, everything in your pantry, and then you go out and buy a whole bunch of fruits and veggies. And what happens a week after that? It's sitting in the fridge and it's going bad. Don't cut out. You're going to be miserable if you cut out all the foods that you love. And dropping your calories too low, cutting out all those foods at the beginning, just don't make yourself miserable, because it won't stick. One trick that I used when I got started was making sure that every meal had some type of veggies in it. And that was it. I did not cut out everything I loved. I still had, my little Twix here and there. I love going out to eat with friends, but I just made little swaps that, made my meals a little more healthy. So I would order a side of veggies with whatever meal I was getting. And I started crowding out my plate, instead of having, fried foods. I would maybe have a little bit of fried foods, but I would include some veggies on the side instead of, I would also eat, I love fruit. So I eat a lot of fruit, and that kind of helped me cut out eating processed sugar, because I was eating the fruits. It's delicious. I didn't really need to eat as much processed sugars. So try to crowd out, try to add in instead of taking out. Focus on adding in healthier options instead of removing, everything that you like, because it won't stick. And eventually you'll get used to it. Now when I'm eating and I have to have some type of veggies or fruit, it just makes my meal more exciting for me. I love eating a plate, full of color, getting in all the nutrients. I focus on just adding in more. My last tip is to keep going even if you mess up. And this really helps with that stop and start cycle. We've all been there. Well, maybe not all. We've all been there where you're like, okay, you know what? I messed up today, but forget it. I'm just going to give up and I'll start back again next month. You don't have to wait until next month or even next Monday. You don't have to wait until, next Monday or next month. If you mess up, and sometimes it's not even like messing up, it's just, that like internal dialogue that you're having with yourself. Like, oh, I ate something I wasn't supposed to eat. And, now it's done. Like it's over. Forget it. I'll just start again next Monday. It does not. It's y'all. It does not have to be like that. If you feel like you did not eat as healthy as you wanted to for breakfast, maybe for lunch, maybe for dinner, make better choices. So it doesn't have to be an all or nothing mentality. That all or nothing mentality is not really helpful because honestly, it's not going to be perfect. Like that's another thing that I've learned. It's not perfect. When think about wherever you are, wherever you're starting from, think about how long you've been in that space or how long it took you to get to that space. It took you a while to get there. So give yourself some grace, give yourself some time, know that it's a process. And that's why I always say, take it day by day, because when I wake up every morning, it's a fresh start. Whatever I did the day before, if I didn't, get in a workout, or if I wasn't eating as healthy as I wanted to, when I wake up in the morning, that is a fresh start. I think that helps with, getting rid of that all or nothing, like I messed up and that's it, I'm gonna give up. Just give yourself some grace. It's okay if you feel like you just keep going. If you mess up, just keep going. All right. That's it. I hope this was helpful. Thank you all for watching. Leave me some comments below. Let me know if you have some tips or some things that you've done that was really helpful for you when you started your health and wellness journey. If you are just getting started, then you're doing something for yourself, and that's commendable. Pat yourself on the back, because the process is not easy necessarily, but it also doesn't have to be hard, and you just have to believe that you can do it. And like I said, start small, making small changes. It will build up over time, and before you realize it, you're building healthier habits, your health is improved, and you're working towards a healthier and better you. So I hope this was helpful. Follow me on Instagram at Healthy Glow Living, and I hope you have a great week.